Hi everyone, good evening. We are just waiting for Charlotte to join. There we go. Hi Kunj, how are you? Charlotte's just connecting. Hi Manasa. Can somebody tell me if the sound is clear? Can you hear me well? Manasa, do you hear me well? Hi Anam. It's taking time to connect. Thanks Anam. Thank you. Okay, I'll try to be louder. Is that better? Thanks Nandita. I think Charlotte's having trouble joining. Let me just try again.
I don't know what was happening.
Hi.
Facebook. Hi, I'm so sorry. It would not allow me in no matter what I was doing.
I'm sorry, everyone who's watching. So sorry for this glitch.
So sorry.
I think, I ended the live and I started again. So the viewers have left and have had to join again. I'm so sorry for that. I hope everybody comes back. Okay, so here we are. Over to you, Charlotte.
Okay, so I just want to ask you a few questions today. So first of all, happy 6-month birthday to OBLC.
To OBLC, to everyone, especially the members who joined on day one. Like yourself.
I didn't know. Who would know it would be 6 months already? So please share with us how you started this. What made you start this?
Well, okay. It's a very interesting story. So I came to Oman with bag and baggage like permanently in December last year. Although I've been familiar to Oman since 2016, since my husband started working here. So I have been quite a workaholic for 15 years. And when I came in December, this was quite a change for me. So still figuring things out and trying to find what am I going to do. Well, I never knew this is what I'm going to do, but I come from a family of book lovers, and we are somebody who invested a huge amount of money in early learning books for my daughter also. So when I came, I started joining a lot of these Facebook groups of Muscat and Oman and trying to familiarize myself, hopefully find some friends, network a little bit. So my eyes would always get stuck at these books buy and sell posts, and I would constantly tell my husband, let's go buy this, let's go buy that. So there were two constraints. One, he said, where do you have the space? Two, the corona. So, you didn't want to go to people's places and all of that. And space was bigger constraint. And, while it kept going on, I just one fine day got an idea. It was, I think, 30th March or 29th March, I guess, when I got the idea that why buy and sell, why not borrow, share, and exchange? And on some of the book sales posts, I just, posted this comment. I had a little message that I drafted. And then on a few of those Facebook groups posts, I got a good response. So the next thing, I just created the group in a Jiffy. And I created WhatsApp and Facebook thing, not knowing what will happen and what will. The funny thing is, the only thing I expected to happen was find 5, 6 friends maximum. I expected 10,
Found
15.
more than that.
I expected 10, 15 people to join, and if I find families with similar age kids, it'll be a good social circle for me with people, families that love books. And that's why I created it. And I never knew that in 1 week we'll cross 100 members.
I know, right? So, and since you've had those members, since the 100 members, it seems like OBLC has just like blown up and grown so very much. Like, you've done a wonderful job. Please tell us all of the different things that's happening with OBLC.
Well, it just started with just the idea of sharing books, and that's about it. And when on 30th March, when we started talking about that, 2nd April, I got COVID. So that sharing of books had to kind of pause when I myself couldn't do it. But fortunately and interestingly, few members did start. People posted their collection and offered exchange to each other. All of that started happening. But since, unfortunately, in April, the COVID second wave hit and things started looking bad, my original idea of creating this was basically 2 things that, I'm very passionate about. One was sharing books, and 2 was having meetups where I visualized a scenario where we create subgroups of genre, interest, and location-wise. So, 8 to 10 people in a subgroup would meet maybe fortnightly or monthly, and each one would bring 2 books to the table, and the books rotate hands around the table with each meetup. So by the end of the circle, you have read maybe 16 books. So that was the idea behind this. But when the second wave came, neither of it could happen. Book exchanges were happening, very few people were doing it, but a lot of people were advocating against it. And the meetups could not happen. So gradually, this shaped itself into a platform where people started talking about books, where people started asking for recommendations, asking or sharing reviews. So that's where it all started. And then as we kept growing, new ideas kept coming, and the vision is suddenly overnight, the vision became something like, now I wish to create a platform which is all things books for Oman. I wish to create a platform where every different person who loves books or reading may have different interests, but there is something for everyone. So
it's a one-stop shop. Everything is here.
One-stop shop. So nothing is competition, everything is collaboration, is the mantra I have been living with, where anything and everything, bookshops, authors, everything we try to bring on one platform.
I love it. I love the book rotation. The idea of sharing books is a really good idea. But you've taken it and made it into so much more. It's so there's so many things happening here. So tell us about some of the things that are happening.
Yeah, so over the period of time, a lot of ideas were brewing, and they were all getting collected, and I did not know how to shape them and structure them and then launch them so that it's not confusing either. So as of now, we've already launched our book rotation system, which took a lot of weeks and months to shape and brainstorm what's the best way to do it.
A lot of work.
We've launched that. We've created the Facebook albums and I'll talk briefly about it because I've had a lot of people feeling confused, because when we posted about book donations, a lot of people felt that people have to donate books to the club, which would come to my house and then I would share them. I have to explain that there are 2-3 different things. You have your collection of books. You may not want to share all. I may not want to share all of my books, but there are certain books I'm comfortable sharing. You segregate your own books. You want to share 5 or 10 books. You keep them up. You put them up for book rotation in the Facebook albums. But there are people, I've got book donations from people who, 1, are either leaving country and they want to give away the books. 2, people who loved books, had huge collection, but now they don't love books anymore, and they would rather have those books go into multiple hands than sit at their home. So those are the kind of people who gave away the books to the club. And 3rd was we got from the MDS auction the leftover books from Jessica. So these are the various kind of books donations that we got where people did not want to engage in the club. But for anybody who's a member and they want to share their books and want to engage in the club, books rotation, albums are the ones to go to. The other thing we
And
need
that's
to do,
on the Facebook,
that's
right?
on the,
In the Facebook
yes.
albums. Okay.
You self-upload your book to the album, and the comments under that book will be the queue for the borrowing. So the club doesn't have to do
Okay.
anything except providing the platform, your book, your post, your comments, your engagement with the person wanting to borrow. The club being a platform and keeping the transactions public helps ensure credibility and trust, because if
Yes.
the transaction is happening on the comments in public, a borrower will be responsible. And touch wood, till date, we've not had any bad experience, or people haven't alerted me of a bad experience with book borrowing.
Because it's quite organized, which is good. Organization, all the work that you put into organizing it, it's very good. Very good.
Yeah. The second thing we started this recently was marketplace. We did not want to make it a buy and sell platform from the beginning, but since we said all things books, and then we took a vote from the members, we have started with the Sunday marketplace, where people are allowed to buy and sell on one day of the week, so that the group provides that opportunity and yet doesn't become cluttered with the only sales posts, which the members did not want. We wanted engagement to happen. The third is recently launched live chat with authors, which I have really worked hard for a while, and I'm very excited about that.
I'm excited about that too.
Yeah. So the endeavor was to have a diversity in the kind of authors we bring in. Easiest for me was Indian authors, because I had a few friends, but Indian authors, Omani authors, authors from the rest of the Middle East, and authors from the Western world, and then authors of fiction, non-fiction, authors for kids. So in the first season, in the first 7 authors, we've managed to get all this variety. So
this will be seasonal. The authors, the interviews with the authors will be, the live chats with the authors will be seasonal. I like the idea that we will watch season.
Yes, I said it like that because it's a lot of work. It took me 2 months to prepare for this. And so I thought, and we do this for season 1. There's a lot of excitement. Then we take a little break, and then we'll go for season 2. I've already started working on the season 2.
Oh, so you're already on season 2.
Yeah.
Hardworking lady.
We started doing the virtual meets. We did 1 virtual meet, and then we are yet to plan the second one, which we're thinking of now moving to genre-wise virtual meets. So maybe the next meet will be a particular genre discussion, and the next. And then comes your read-along, which we will talk about tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow about that. So for the virtual meetups that you have, it's just it's like a meetup. It's not like explain the virtual meetup so people can know what it's about.
It's like a physical meetup, like a coffee meeting. So virtual meetup is like a Zoom meeting. We did it in the Facebook group room using the Facebook room feature. So it will be like all of us together. So I think we were 8 or 10 people the other day. But as we go, I'm sure more members will join. So it's like a Zoom meeting, which is the term I think people are more familiar with. So all of us join together, talk. So for the first meetup was an introductory one. So we just shared our own introduction. Manasa was the one who led it. So we had a little game. There was a cue of a word, and so it was fun. You get to know each other, and we talked about books, and so it's going to be an interactive session with the number of people who attend. So
where book lovers can come together and just have fun, like a coffee. So we should bring our coffee to the meetup.
Are over, we'll keep continuing with these virtual meetups, because my original vision of creating this was definitely the physical meetups. So I'm already in touch with cafes which are relevant to our cause. So you can imagine the book cafes of Muscat.
Nice.
To host our physical meetups, coffee meetups, and how it shapes up is I intend to eventually marry the read-along and the meetups, and they merge together, and then we break them into genre-wise interests. So there can be a group which is interested in reading romance, there can be a group interested in reading thriller, and there can be a group interested in reading non-fiction, and so on. So that group book, and then they can meet up to discuss the book. So that's how we want to take it forward eventually.
So basically, we're going to go from virtual meetups to actual meetups now that things are getting back to somewhat normal. Yes.
Then we are very soon launching the Kids Club. Kunj has already been announced as a volunteer to lead that. She may be helped with by Paisha. And so we have 2 different age groups to kind of lead that. So we are very soon bringing our kids virtual meetup first. And then to follow it, there will be maybe toddler story reading sessions. There are some moms who've shown interest.
I think that's so adorable.
Yeah, and then there's a mom who showed some interest in trying to host kids competitions or read along, some activities for kids to get together and do something related to books. Maybe a dress up, with from fairy tales. There are some ideas brewing, and I let the volunteers who take that activity forward actually work on shaping the exact activity that they would like to do. So that's coming up. And we launched our volunteering program, which is why I'm taking all these names, where initially few months I tried to do things myself. I had a support group of a few people who were helping in ideation. So that happened, but it was getting complicated. So then this idea happened where I thought a monthly volunteering program is an interesting way to engage more people, because a lot of people are interested and keen to help, but then they are very worried about time commitment. So monthly volunteering program is a short-term commitment, which makes it easier for a person to, because I talked to a lot of our members. I may have made, I think, 100 or 200 new friends now. So,
wow.
So people say we really want to help, but it's the time that, a long-term commitment is very difficult to make. So the monthly volunteer program is something I would like all the viewers to invite to join. We will have the volunteers rolling. Since it's the first month, we still hadn't launched all the volunteers announcements. So this September will roll over to October. But hopefully in November, we will have the current volunteers mentoring the new volunteers, and then that rolls over.
Oh,
so
nice.
And we already started our first challenge in the name of Shelfie Challenge. So there are lots of more challenges, giveaways, competitions lined up. The ideas have been growing. They are stocked up, and they will be launched in due course so that everybody can enjoy all of these. So yes,
like the Shelfie Challenge. Let's talk about the Shelfie Challenge. The Shelfie Challenge. Let's talk about that.
So you haven't participated yet, right?
No, my Shelfie is not like comparable to the ones that are being posted at all.
You tell me the good Shelfie. So yeah, I was just posting the pictures of these bookshelves from my family home in India, and I was just doing it out of fun because I just loved that home with all nooks. So one house has like 5 bookshelves, 1 good library, and 3 or 4 more book corners. So books in every nook and corner of that house. So I was just posting that on Instagram, just, for fun. And then I started noticing. So then I started noticing this hashtag Shelfie on Instagram. I said, well, let's kind of matches up and let's start this Shelfie challenge for our members. So we've got, I think, 3 or 4 entries already, and I'm inviting more people to post their Shelfies and then get featured on the header of our group. Yeah. So
I'm wondering if any of the people watching, do they have any questions for you about anyone else has any questions that I haven't asked that they might need, or do you have something you want to share?
I think did I talk about, along with your read along. So there's another interesting thing coming up. I missed talking about it.
Somebody wants to know, are there any plans for teens?
Mamta, let's do it. Because I had Kunj wanting to volunteer, so the 10 to 11 age group I got covered. And similarly, we can have a teens club like we're planning to start the kids club. When will the book
for the read along will be announced tomorrow, so you'll have to join tomorrow's live.
Tomorrow we're holding the next live session with Charlotte, where the tables will be turned and I'll be interviewing Charlotte, and she will be talking about the book that we're going to read along in the month of October.
Okay. I'm excited about it though. I'm excited.
Yes, me too. Very, very, very. because then every day we'll just have one thing to talk about in the group.
Yeah.
So I was just, yeah, one more thing I want to talk about is I hear from a lot of our members that I can't, I hesitate to join the conversation because I'm not as well read. I have been a voracious reader before, but family circumstances have changed my reading habit. And I was one of them. I am one of them. I have read extensively while growing up, but last 8 years, I don't remember picking up a book, or maybe one or two. So book club helped me rekindle my habit of reading, not my love for books. So I thought of this. I saw something in a few platforms, and I thought of this idea. We'll have one volunteer work with Charlotte closely to lead this activity, which we are calling Reading Challenge. So this is to help non-readers and dormant readers get back into reading and develop that habit, because it actually doesn't take too much time, but we tend to procrastinate thinking, okay, once I finish this, then I'll go and sit with the book. It does not need that much effort. I have practiced with myself in the last few days. Even in the morning, if I take out 10 minutes, I end up reading a few pages. So we will structure the reading challenge in a way that day one, read 1 page. That's it. And report it to the volunteer. Day 2, read 2 pages. That's it. Day 3, read 3 pages. And then by the end of the month, you have reached a point where you're reading 30 pages in a day. Your reading habit is set, and then that's it.
Good idea. I like this challenge.
Yeah. So this is something.
Yeah, and I think people shouldn't feel like, oh, they're not as well read, because a lot of you are more well read than me, but I still participate because you guys are very awesome. So I think no one should feel left out. I think it's a place for all of us. All
Exactly.
people who love books and love to read. OBLC is a place for us all. Nobody gets left behind.
Exactly. The endeavor has been to have all kind of diversity, make the group very, very inclusive as much as possible. We're making those efforts. And the point is, everybody is different. So all these ideas have come up with that vision behind, the philosophy being that everybody should find something of their interest. So we are 791 members today. Somebody may be interested in maybe a Shetty challenge. The other person may be interested in a read along. The other one may be interested in a meetup. You don't know which one suits who. So all these things.
But it's something for everybody.
Yeah. So that's the point. And well, like I said, I never imagined how this will grow, of course, and definitely did not anticipate 6 months ago that I'll be sitting here doing this on 30th September.
With you.
Yeah. In 1 week, we had crossed 100 members. In 1 month, we crossed 200 members. In 2 months, we crossed 300. In 3 months, we crossed 400. And then in the month of July, suddenly we crossed 500 and 600. So in 1 month, 200 members grew. So that's how, like you said, it's blown. The journey of the book club has been like suddenly exploding in widths. I think July was also the month of summer vacations and the lockdown. So that's the time people were online a lot more. So yeah, so now making different collaborations, different partnerships to expand the reach. And my dream is to have 100% of Oman's book lovers in one platform, in one place together.
Oh, nice idea. I like it.
Yeah. So all of you great, amazing, awesome people who have been helping the club grow since day one. You will continue to help us to keep growing it.
Oh, did you want to also talk about the author that's coming up that you're having the live chat with?
Yeah, so I think we'll be doing a precursor short IG live to introduce the author and talk about what to expect in the session. That's going to come up on 2nd or 3rd, Saturday or Sunday. And so basically the chats are going to be very broad and introductory, because the endeavor is not to deep dive into one particular book, but rather spread more awareness, because see, all of us have very different interests in terms of what we like to read, and everybody is not aware of different things that are happening around. So the point is really to have a conversation with an author to understand their journey, understand about what they write, and spread awareness among the people who haven't read those authors. So
And we
that's
may have authors among us, future authors among us, who need to find out how to do it, you know?
in fact, some of the authors, like Amit Pragya, who's coming up first, is somebody who's very welcoming of guiding people who may want to start their writing journey. So that's one thing he invites people to connect with him on DM for. We have among us in our group, we have Amar and we have Matt Jardine, who are authors living in Muscat. We have Sanya also already part of the group, who's the author coming up in, I think, at number 2 in the tournament. So we have 3 authors right among us in the group. So guys, if you have any queries, tag them.
Didn't know that. Good to know.
We have 3 authors among us: Matt Jardine, Amar Al-Naimi, and Sanya Chugtai. So if
good to know.
to talk to them, they are right amongst you.
Yeah, didn't know that. We're rubbing shoulders with authors. How nice.
And your favorite Catherine Center is coming.
Shoulders.
Your favorite
Say again,
Catherine.
sorry.
Your favorite
Oh
Catherine
my
Center.
gosh, she's my favorite. I'm so excited for that one.
Yeah, so I'm sure you have a lot of questions that we can ask her.
Lots of questions. I've already started preparing. As soon as I saw the name on the poster, prepare.
Keep growing. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhatia. Thank you, Manasa. Thank you so much. Yeah, I guess we've talked about everything that we wanted to talk about. Anything else, Charlotte, that you may want to share? How has your journey been?
My journey with OBLC has been good. It has actually like spiked my reading also. I've read more because we have Manasa, Manasa, she just reads like a book a day. And I'm like, how can you do that? So I'm trying to catch up to her. But the journey here has been, I think it's wonderful because we can come here for everything. You can exchange books, meet friends, virtual meetups, soon, very soon, fingers crossed, real meetups. Yeah. So I think you've done a marvelous job. I would like to congratulate you on the 6 months because you've worked very, very hard to make this into what it is. So I personally thank you, and I'm sure there are others. I think it's the most wonderful thing ever, really. Because I'm part of other book clubs in Facebook, but nothing like this. This is like so separate, so different, so big to me. It's very different here than these other groups. Like I don't even participate in the other groups anymore. I'm always here. So
some of the other groups.
Yeah, maybe I can bring some of them over to us. Yeah.
In Oman and Muscat, please join Oman Book Lovers Club.
Yes, I'll start to try to bring people over.
Anam, thank you so much for your kind words. And I must say, I mean, congratulations and thanks a ton to all of you wonderful people, because a group is not just me. I just created a platform. A group is all the beautiful members who make it what it is. Without your participation, without your contribution, without your activity, it will not be what it is. I cannot do anything alone. So it's all of us.
But you know, you make it easy to do. You make it a pleasant thing to do. So we enjoy. I think, I mean, I can say for me, I enjoy our interactions. I enjoy volunteering and helping. It's really nice. And I've met so many wonderful people. And, you know, people who read books like you read books, who love books like you love books.
Book club has given me amazing friends and a new life in my life.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that.
Well, that's all for me. I'm wondering if anybody else has anything they want to ask or say to our wonderful host.
On to you. I guess that's it then. Let's say goodbye, and thank you, sir. Read Long is a wonderful idea. Thank you so much. So we will see you all tomorrow. We'll post the time tonight when I'm going to be interviewing Charlotte to talk about the read along, and the book will be declared then.
So please join us tomorrow too.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for doing this for us.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.